and I don't know if this dude will be watching 5:09 on a Saturday afternoon. He might actually have stuff to do with family, before all of the games and before he has to actually work. Dylan Butler joining us to start hour number 2 as we're trying to come up with the soap opera title for what's going on to your Northeast in New England.
Oh, yeah. That one. Well, it's not what's the opposite of Viva la Revolution?
That's a good question.
That could be it.
Yeah, because whatever the downside of a revolution is, that would be, it's
it's very oh man, dream. It's very Dream Team-esque.
Okay.
Back from, remember, we've spoken before. It's a former, what was it? Was it a Sky show that back in the day, man, like when Max Bretos was doing games for Fox Soccer Channel, they needed content, so they put this show on, and I loved it, man. Like it was Hartchester United was the fake team, and they had everything. They had teammates killing teammates, and they had a match. They made it to the FA Cup. And again, sorry for the spoilers if anybody's out there just wanting to check out Dream Team, but like they had a bus explosion at Wembley and all kinds of hardship, owners, change of ownerships, and people sleeping with people's wives. Like it was everything that you would dream up a Sky football soap opera-y thing was. So that was Dream Team. In check it out if you get a chance. When you do a search for it, obviously you're going to find a lot of basketball stuff.
Right? Yeah.
Go Dream Team. Do a search of Dream Team, Hartchester United, Sky Sports, I guess, or Sky, whatever it was on Sky then.
Okay.
And you'll enjoy it.
So it's kind of like Playmakers if Sky did it.
Yes.
And so for those of us of a certain age, Playmakers was ESPN's attempt to try and do dramatic, episodic, over-the-top programming while they were a rights holder of the National Football League.
Yeah.
And it didn't quite go over well because it was a little too close to home in some aspects of it. And
betting scandals. There's so many things that in the multiple seasons.
And
it was very good. I liked it a lot.
Bam has done a public service for us and has found the IMDb page.
Oh, nice.
And so it is there. So your public service announcement for Hartchester United is right there. The IMDb page. It is in the Twitch pitch.
I recommend it. They used to play at the Dragon's Lair.
Oh wow. That's well. I mean, hey, Wrexham might pick that up in a hurry.
Yeah, right.
Tafka says Twirl of Revolucion, or David has Muerto de los Revolucion. Yes, Tafka, it was a Playmakers reference. The NFL can, yes, they did force it. The game on Paramount Plus is basically that. But Muerto de los Revolucion. And the point was made by some of our folks in the Twitch pitch that you got to give the Revs players a boatload of credit with all of this ish swimming around them for the last 6 weeks, and they're still number 2 in the East.
For now, yeah. I mean, there's teams that are hot on their tails, right? Columbus and Orlando. So we'll see how long they can keep that up for sure. But yeah, I mean, that was seemingly a player. It was a revolution among the Revolution players, right? A player revolt.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's. I don't know where to begin with it. My question here is, why have a press conference with Richie Williams, I guess seemingly after all this went down.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he can't answer actual questions, right? So everything was like, oh, we got to refer back to the league, and then like hours later, announce a change. Like, just cancel the press conference.
3 times, he says. What's your emotion about Bruce Arena's dismissal? I'm going to have to refer you to the investigation. What?
Do you know Bruce Arena? Yeah, I'm gonna have to refer you to them.
Basically, that's what it was.
I was on it. I know.
Oh my gosh. Are you going to be on the 1 o'clock today with Bilello and
I
Analfo?
don't know, maybe. We gotta see.
But for Richie Williams for 3 times to reference the investigation, Richie, what'd you have for lunch in the club cafeteria in the commissary? I'm gonna have to refer you to the invest. I mean, that's literally how ludicrous it was.
Yeah. The Dunkin' there in Patriot Place. How do you like your coffee? I'm gonna have to refer you to the league on that one.
Yes, I mean, and it's just and where Richie Williams said literally it was a player revolt. It's like Richie Williams is like, nah, we had a lot of meetings and we decided mutually that no, we're not going to practice. Players like, nah, fam.
He's like I guess there's a meme on it too, but they're like, but if you go back to one of the Naked Gun movies,
Mm-hmm.
when they're like, everything is fine, there's nothing to see here, and it's just like,
yeah, Frank Drebin in front of the fireworks factory.
Chaos behind him, yeah.
That's exactly what's going on. Richie Williams is Frank Drebin from Police Squad. He's Leslie Nielsen's character. Yes. Move on. Nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Fireworks factories going up. There's bombs going off everywhere. I mean, going back to over 6 weeks, we got nothing. I mean, this was about as radio silence could be about the investigation, what might have been said, what might not have been said, what Bruce Arena was doing, who was where this was, and then all of a sudden you get a news dump at the end of the Minnesota-New England game itself.
Yeah. Just after Dane St. Clair set up Fragapane for the assist. Yeah.
You get that.
And then a canceled post-game press conference. So you're like, wait a minute. They're canceling the press conference. And then secondly, you're like, well, you know what? If they have the presence of mind to cancel that then, which who knew you could do that in a post-match, you would have figured they already set precedent. Why not cancel yesterday's? But throw poor Richie in there to not answer anything.
To refer to the investigation. And I mean, now, I don't know. Do you have more questions than answers, even with everything that's gone on over the last couple of days since the Saturday news dump?
Yeah, I mean, because nothing's been answered, right?
And now, and we don't even know Richie Williams' status. The press, we go through the press release yesterday where they announced at 7:45 that Clint PA was taking over, and there's no mention of Richie Williams at all. None.
Yeah, I think Purposefully Vague, which I think might be an album cover title from Pink Floyd back in the day.
Purposefully Vague?
Yeah, that's what that press release was.
And this was what a lot of folks were also saying too, this somewhat, and once again, there's no evidence to show any of this, but
which was the B-side of Comfortably Numb, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. Purposefully Vague.
Yes.
This lines itself up to possibly, and like I said, we have no evidence to this yet, but with what Williams, with what he said yesterday, no mention of him as Clint PA was promoted to be the new substitute teacher. Yes. That this might be whistleblower protection here, since he has not been dismissed, he has not been reassigned. There has been no official word of where he's going. I mean, he could be the ticket taker at Toby Keith's for all we know, a restaurant that no longer exists. Yes. We're just going to put him all the way over here in the mall. It's like, dude, just.
Or is that CBS Sports Zone, right? Is that what it's called? CBS Sports Zone?
I'll take your word for it. It's been a while since I've been to Foxborough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, literally, they're going to put him over here. It's like, dude, just go and take tickets or do something like
We have the Renaissance Hotel welcoming people in.
Yes, but he can't do it. I don't think he can do it in his Revs warm up suit though. It's literally suit and tie. He's there at the front. Welcome to the Renaissance. Don't you look like? Nope. I'm gonna have to refer you to the investigation. But I mean, this is just. I mean, and
as you said, the remarkable thing about this whole thing is they're not the Rapids, right?
No.
Like they're not.
But they're playing the Rapids this weekend.
Wow! And by the way, that has to be, if you are part of the Revolution, that's about as amazing and perfect a road trip to make.
Yep.
Let us get as far away from here as possible. Let's play the worst team in the league. Let's deflect away from this.
Mm-hmm. And you get to do it with the rabid Prairie Dogs and the worst team in the league chasing after the Wooden Spoon.
Yes.
In a conference that is chaos in and of itself. Where do you stand? Has your stance changed on Messi and friends about making the playoffs or making a run? Because right now they're only 6 points out.
I don't know. Did I have a definitive stance? I probably did, and it probably was that we're
going to have to refer you to the investigation, Dylan.
That's right. I'm going to speak to the league about that.
Yes. We'll speak to the league about your thoughts. But, I mean, so.
Yeah, I mean, I must have right away at the beginning. I think my rationale was probably along the lines of everybody else. They can maybe make a run at something in the League's Cup, but really they're aiming towards next year.
Mm-hmm.
And even you said at one point, winning League's Cup, do you now punt on the league, right?
Yeah.
They have an Open Cup as well to play for.
27.
And yet they are not, man. They are full steam ahead. It's that Acela train running through the Northeast or up or through the Eastern Conference, I should say. And yeah, now with everybody else's struggles all around them, and with all these 6-pointers in the Eastern Conference,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're making the playoffs. And in the words of Giorgio Chiellini, I wouldn't want to be that first or second team because they're coming for you.
Because let's just say that right now the 8-9, and there's some space because right now Miami would have to make up 12 points in 8 matches to get to the 7.
And they started out needing
12
points in 12 matches.
Yeah. So now it is 6 points in 8 matches to get
they have a couple in hand too, sorry.
Yeah, they got 26. They played 26. Those around them short of Charlotte because of the postponement with Charlotte, which will be their home and home to finish the season. 26 matches played, so they've got 8 to go. Red Bulls have played 27. NYC have played 28. Charlotte, once again, because of the matches in hand, they've also played 26. Chicago's played 27. DC's played 28. And Montreal's played 27. So as of right now, how things stand, Miami is 6 out of the playoffs, 2 matches in hand on DC.
Yeah.
That's to get in. Then to get the 8, which would mean that you would have a home game in that 8-9 play-in, 7 points, match in hand with Montreal. You're that 8-9. If they get in, you're the 8-9. What is Cincinnati thinking right now?
Yeah, no, that's a problem.
I mean, and then, but obviously, you're going to have to do things on the road every single step. You get in, obviously, you're the 8-9. You win the 8-9. You're playing the 1, and I don't think they reassign, do they? I mean, you'd play the 4-5, wouldn't you? As the 8-9, you wouldn't play the highest remaining seed, or you play the highest remaining seed?
I think the 8-9 plays the highest.
Okay, so then literally what you would end up doing is you'd end up playing this murderer's row of Cincy, New England, and Orlando or Philly as your 3 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you get in. And I right now, I don't think anybody's sitting there putting any kind of a doubt. Okay, no reseeding, right? And 5 teams against sub-playoff line teams in the East. So they would play the 4-5, Ricky? Okay. So they would get the 4-5 out of the blocks. So you win the 8-9, you win the 1, and then you play the 4-5.
Oh, sorry. I didn't.
That's on me.
My mistake. I thought you were saying out of the 8-9 they played a 4-5. No, yes. Yep.
Yeah. So, literally, if you're Cincinnati right now, man, you're sitting there thinking you are praying. You are praying.
Oh, and by the way, you're Cincinnati, the Shield winners, who obviously last year LAFC did it differently, but you generally don't you don't do well in the playoffs.
No, you do not. But that's been some. Yeah, just thinking about this now, it's like, yeah, no, they're 12 points back with 12 to play. I don't know about this. I don't know. You win a couple, then I'm playing everything in my head back all over again. And now we're 6 points out. Wayne Rooney might be going to Birmingham City.
Can they host the Galaxy in the MLS Cup? They'd have more points, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would. But I think we need to change the playoff format. But that's just me. Instead of getting into play the 4-5, if you beat the 1, you play the highest remaining seed. That's me. Like I said, that's just me. When you're going into this weekend,
Great weekend, by the way.
We mentioned the Prairie Dogs and our friends in New
England. That has you interested. This is a crazy week.
Uh-huh. I mean,
that's usually a throwaway match.
You've got, all right, so let's see. You've got Hudson River.
You've got death matches.
Yes. You've got Hudson River to start things off.
You've got the old school, John, you got the old school wrestling for the contract matches, right? Winner, loser leaves town.
Loser leave town match.
Yeah. Between the Red Bulls and NYCFC. Loser out of the playoffs.
No doubt. You've got Messi and friends here in Atlanta. They've opened it up to 70,000, and they'll all be there. Trust me. Orlando and Columbus, Philly, Cincinnati. So it's
Columbus is great too. Cincy, Philly is fantastic too.
Because you have the touchline staring at each other, and it's like the number 2 going up against the old number 1, and that is going. You want to talk about a Boston street fight. Philly and Cincinnati at Subaru Park is going to be a Boston street fight, or it's going
is that the title of the thing, the Boston street fight?
Yeah, really. I think so. I mean, because in the old days when those of us of a certain age, instead of calling them hardcore matches where you bring anything that you want to the ring and whatever, it was either a Texas bull rope match where.
I always found it so amazing. They just happen to find these things.
Oh, absolutely.
Did they have security checking beforehand? They don't know all these objects are below the one stuck in the what was the thing at the end of the that you slam your head into inside the turnbuckle? Yeah, the turnbuckle. Yeah. You got stuff in there, and you got Georgie Animal Steel treating it like it's cotton candy. Yeah, it's a meal, But yeah, Boston Street Fight used to be what we would call a hardcore match now, where whatever you want to the ring, and so you'd have folks wearing cowboy boots and blue jeans and whatever, and you could bring whatever you want to the ring, and it just turns into a mess. But yeah, you've got Philly and Cincy, which I think, other than all the other death matches, this match might try to send soccer back at least 2 decades. Here's the ball. You take it. I don't want the ball. The ball's got cooties. Ball's got cooties, and you just launch it long. The first team that just sits there and sends it deep and has the other team chase, and they, instead of realizing, just like the old Simpsons gif where they're just kind of kicking the ball back and forward. I mean, you've got that. You've got El Trafico this weekend. You've got,
San Jose and Salt Lake to me is sneaky.
Sure.
Because of RSL, what they've been able to do since they brought in Chicho Arango. So I would take the over in that one. I mean, let's start.
I think there's more interesting games in the East for sure, just because the East, I think, is more interesting anyway.
But yeah, the East is chaos.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you put
Houston St. Louis is really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, because if you sit there and you're looking at what Ben Olsen has done in Houston, and Jarrett has maintained that Ben Olsen will get some downstream Coach of the Year ballots for what he's done. Obviously, he won't win it. Probably Carnell will. So you've got two dudes who are probably chasing after Coach of the Year in Major League Soccer. And St. Louis is, all caps, is going to have to do it on the road in a really tough place in Houston. It's chaos, man.
Hell in the shell.
It is. It is hell in a shell. And with the East, what is it? The top, if you take away the number one team, was it 2 through 5 could be number 2 in the West?
Oh, yeah.
And that just shows you where the East is with all of its chaos this year. What is your weekend going to be like?
Watching MLS 360. Like, you can't. You've got to let it be the red zone channel for you. Like, you can't.
But we still need a red zone channel, though.
Like, it's going to be that, really. I can't. Now you do have the staggered times early, so you can watch Hudson River Derby. You can then watch Messi and friends go to the Bends.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, then it's got to be, you watch the wraparound show.
No doubt. I mean, 2 through 5 in the East that's 4 teams separated by 3 points. Then you've got Atlanta at 42, Nashville at 40, and then you have the gap that you think that Messi and friends can't get to. 12 matches to go with 8 to play. 12 points back with 8 to play. The chaos that has been added to this bunch. They're planning for next year. Yeah, good luck on that. I just when it comes to even looking at the juice boxes in this, it's going to be an interesting window in what folks think, because we always think about how difficult it is for teams to win on the road in Major League Soccer, but you could have some teams this weekend in Major League Soccer who would be your relatively prohibitive favorites. But once again, I mean, if you look at I need you to load, silly. Okay. NYC is favored at home. Where are they playing this one? Are they playing it at Yankee or
Yeah, Estadio Yankee.
Okay. Atlanta's a favorite at home. Orlando is a substantive favorite at home against Crew. Crew's a plus 192, by the way. That's a decent juice box number for the Crew on the road. Union are on the minus side, taking on FC Cincinnati. FC Cincinnati on the road's a plus 337. Draws a plus 280. Dude, there's some really tempting numbers here. And by the way, El Tráfico, LAFC, no surprise, a minus 179. So
I feel like any juice box conversation or any wagering on Major League Soccer matches needs to have that like old. There's not many cigarette. I don't think there's any cigarette ads anymore, right? But like, again, for those of a certain age, when you had the cigarette ads out there, they would have the little disclaimer at the end. Smoking may cause cancer. And
so you need a Surgeon General's warning now.
It might be hazardous to your health.
Well, yeah, and so that's why we talk about it, but we don't do anything about it.
Yes.
It is obviously it's like looking at the you sit there and look like reading the 3 and the 4 letter paper overseas. Take the information at your own peril.
Like playing Grand Theft Auto, like it's fun to do all those things, but you're not really doing it in real life.
No. And that's why you take your juice boxes from the back of the fridge. What is your weekend with Varsity Media, writing things, OSDB, MLS Soccer? How busy are you, sir?
Yeah, pretty busy. We start tonight with the Jewish holiday. The public schools out here are playing midweek football matches. Football games. So I've got Sayville and Smithtown West out here in Suffolk County. So that should be fun. two quarterbacks who like to throw the ball a lot, so we could be there for a while. Then my Friday night game got moved to Saturday afternoon because of some weather delays for the team coming over here. But it's part of what is fun around these parts. It's called the Battle for the Bridge, and it's New Jersey versus New York. Primarily, I think it's called non-public in New Jersey, the Catholic schools here in New York. So a lot of fun matchups. Last year, it was exclusively on the other side of the bridge. So it was pretty much all played at Rutgers.
Okay.
Over the course of 2 days, but here is going to be on campus site. So I'll have one of those games. It'll be St. Joe's Regional coming out from Montvale. Matt Turner's alma mater. Taking on St. Anthony's here. By the way, my game, you could definitely appreciate this. Friday night, it's like a hot, sticky night. I did a football game, a high school football game. The final score was, what the hell was it? 52 to 51.
Yep.
St. Anthony's beat Cardinal Hayes 52-51 on a. So check this out. Here's a final sequence. Well, not the final sequence. 17 seconds left.
Okay.
Fourth and whatever, 6 maybe. So St. Anthony's are losing. You've got to score here or the game. That's it. No, I'm sorry. You can get a first down, but this is by all means your last play. Quarterback scrambles left. He scrambles right. He angles himself to the end zone. Gets hit at the 4. Loses his helmet. Continues on his run. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Anthony's. Oh, but wait.
You lost the helmet. It's a dead ball at the 4.
Yes. Which I wish I knew before that, but found out after. So the dead ball now brings it back to the 4. You have a first and goal, but now your quarterback who just ran it in
is out for the play.
It's out for the play. So you go Wildcat with the kid going to Rutgers. He gets stopped and loses his helmet on the play. So now he's out for the play, but your quarterback comes back into play. He scores like a 2-yard touchdown. And now it's decision time, right? You're home. Do you go for 2 for the win or you go for 1 for the tie? They went for 2 for the win. And they get it, and they win the game 52-51.
Regional Emmy submission for Varsity Media. Please let that happen. That final half hour of the game.
John, I don't know about you. Like when I do I know I'm in stoppage time here, but
that's okay.
I don't know about you when you do these games. Like I need to stand.
Oh,
like absolutely. I can't sit. Like I need to stay. I got to look at my charts. I got to look at my rosters. I got to look around. Right. That was 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
Absolutely. No, I can't sit when I'm doing play-by-play. I can't sit.
No, I do for basketball because you have to, right? Because you're like courtside or whatever.
Yeah.
But and baseball if I do baseball, but yeah, like anything else I do, I got to stand.
Football, I'm standing, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah.
One more thing before you go at Dylan_Butler on the Twitters. Hutch says the bridge match is crying out for a blocking scheme named after Governor Christie.
That is really well done. I can't top that.
So have a full weekend, my friend, of calling things in various sundry forms. And we will catch back up with you to talk about the sprint that is Major League Soccer with Messi and friends and everybody else. Be well as you drink from your Yankees mug this morning.
No, I'm blessed.
You're blessed this morning. I saw I saw the normal Yankees. So he is blessed this morning. He made it. He made it through the line of dropping off the boss and making sure that he got back for us for 10 o'clock. Be safe, my friend. We'll catch up next week.
All right, buddy.
All right, there's Dylan Butler.